Okay, Dr. Park, it's always a pleasure and a delight to be with you and to meet you in these scientific meetings. Can you please introduce yourself, please?
I'm Sean Sang-won Park. I'm a prosthetic urology practicing in Seoul, Korea.
And were you born in your same homeland?
I was born and raised in Korea, not north, south, by the way. It was a huge metropolitan city, but back then it was less, less buildings and more of the fields. Yeah, I enjoyed my time there.
And how was your university?
It's a long story. So I went to the elementary school, middle school, high school until the in Daegu. When I was in middle school, my mom thought that I'm not smart enough to go to good schools.
Really?
She thought that if I play piano, because as I have a somewhat better grades than the others, if I can combine those two, I may go to the good universities. Up until, I guess, my first year of the high school, I was playing piano professionally. But, my piano teacher told me that, Sean, to be honest with you, just study.
Really?
Because I think you are better studying than to play piano. So
I wish we had a piano here.
So I started piano, by the way, too late.
Really?
So after I was not able to play piano, I was very disappointed because I always wanted to be good at what I was doing. But it was a huge blow to me, actually. My piano teacher was a good guy. So after that, I wanted to be a psychologist. I studied very hard. And guess what? My piano teacher was right. My SAT score, I got a jackpot there. So I was one of the 0.1 percentile in total South Korea. So I was able to go any school I wanted. So of course I applied for the most prestigious school, the Seoul University's psychology and Yonsei University's economic department. And I was not really going to go anywhere. But my high school teacher, who was also a very wise man, told me that, Sean, why don't you try the medical school? By the way, I already bought the applying documents for you because back then I have to pay a certain amount of money to apply to the university. I wasn't really going to buy anything for the medical school, but my teacher already bought the documents for me and wanted me to apply there. Yeah, why not? I don't have to pay anything. I don't have to ask for money, right? So it turns out that I was admitted all 3 universities, but I was not able to get any grant for the psychology. I was able to get grant for the economic school and the medical school.
I see
but
what you
for the
mean.
medical school, they were allowing me to have 3 years of the grant. And guess what? That's how I went to the medical school. So
Wow.
from the very beginning, I had no idea that I was going to be a doctor.
How was your medical school years?
I really didn't enjoy it. Up until the 3rd grade, we have to study basic sciences.
Basic science.
Like anatomy, pathology, histology, and
microbiology. Yeah.
Oh,
biochemistry, remember?
Biochemistry, even worse. So I was not able to really see the patient, to really understand the human being. So in Korea, medical school is 60 years, but actually if you look in the statistics, they attend medical school 7.5 years. I graduated luckily in 60 years, but after the 6 years of medical school, like yours, we have to go through the internship.
Internship. How long is that?
It's just 1 year
Just
and
1
the
year?
4 year of the residency.
Okay. So speaking about residency, why urology?
I wanted to be a surgeon from the very beginning. I enjoyed playing, a piano. I know I have some dexterities in me. So I wanted to do something with the surgery. So among the surgical parts in South Korea, we regard orthopedics as the best because it has a really good salary, or plastic surgery, or ENT surgery. Actually, I was the only one who was able to support my family financially, so I always wanted to make a lot of money after the medical school.
After medical school.
As my medical school grade wasn't that great, but my grades after I started the clinical sections soared like this. So not the orthopedics, not the ENT, not the plastic surgeries, but among the others, I was able to choose. I looked into it through my internship and saw how it goes. My teachers in the urology department, they are not just a great surgeon, but a great teacher and great human beings. I wanted to know how to live as a good human being. Through my residency, so my professors, my teachers, I revered them as a great human being. They wanted me to become a professor. So they wanted me to go through the academic way. But I said, no way, sir, I can't. Because I have to support my family. But they would keep telling me, Sean, think about it, like several times. My professors wanted to me become a robotic surgeon. So they had me go to the several places to see robotic surgery. They almost forced me to go to the 1 year of the fellowship. I was so tempted. I really wanted to do that.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I really wasn't sure that I really want to be an academic guy. Because if you go to the academic department, you can't really focus on what you want to do. And back then I wasn't so sure about the path I take. And I was really not that great with writing papers. I feared myself I will be a bad professor, academic guy. I said, I tried, sir, but I think I will be better at the private sector. I was doing my fellowship, first year of my fellowship, but I quit it at the 6 months. I came out to the private sector to find a job.
Okay.
So back then in South Korea, cosmetic phalloplasty was a huge business back then. So as I had to support my family, I was going to do, what about being a cosmetic phalloplasty guy? Seems like a good surgery. So I was hired by a group, and they were doing the most cosmetic plastic surgery in South Korea. In 2.5 years, I did 1,500 cases of the cosmetic phalloplasty. Just like the oncology, you know where to go, you know how to make a good surgery. But this one, you have to create something. And the most difficult thing is the two things were keep happening. The number one, it was a patient expectations. Their expectation is always different than the surgeons. That's the number one. Number two is a material problem. Penis is a very interesting organ. It expands like this. It shrinks like this. You need some material that can extend like the penis does, but there's no material can do that. Nature of the tissue back then was not matching it. I was doing every kind of this, material. I tried. None of them really gave me a good result. Even though I haven't had any single issue with the legal, medical legal problem, I was not able to satisfy with my own surgeries. So I told them, I'm going to quit.
That's when you decided?
I came to the AUA and attended a hands-on course of the prosthetics.
Okay, that was for the first time?
For the first time. So that was for the first time I was interested in prosthetics. It was during my work as a hired guy.
Okay.
Even though I was hired, I became a private guy. I tried to attend the AUA because I did wanted me to get updated with the new technologies and the new medical knowledges. So I attended AUA, and that's what happened. So, prosthetics. This is treating the disease, not a cosmesis. So maybe there could be a job for me. There could be a space for me, right?